Today we'll be talking about Skarmory, the first Steel Flying type Pokemon. Its previous BYC dates are October 10th, 1996, August 1st, 1999, May 22nd, 2002, March 12th, 2005, January 1st, 2008, October 22nd, 2010, August 12th, 2013, June 2nd, 2016, March 24th, 2019, and January 12th, 2022. If there's any Pokemon that I would point to as a prime example of the Steel type, it's Skarmory. With feathers that are literally turned into swords by people, there are a few Pokemon that encapsulate the Steel type better, particularly a Steel Bird Pokemon. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Skarmory, the Armor Bird Pokemon, whose number is 0227. This is what it looks like. Its type is Steel Flying. Since it's our first Steel Flying, I'll point out the Steel inside, the Flying outside. Abilities, Keen Eye or Sturdy. Weak Armor is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 50-50. Catch rate is 25 or 7.7%. Breeding is a Group Flying. Hatch time 25 cycles. Height is 5'7" or 1.7 meters. Weight is 111.3 pounds or 50.5 kilograms. Base experience yield is 168 Gen 2 through 4 and 163 in 5+. Level and rate is slow. EV yield is 2. Both in defense. Shape is that. Footprint is that. Pokedex color is gray and base friendship is 70. Skarmory is a dual type Steel Flying Pokemon introduced in Gen 2. It is not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon. Biology, Skarmory is a silver-gray avian Pokemon with a long metallic blue neck, legs, and tail. It has yellow eyes, a pointed beak with several pointed teeth, and a triangular crest on its head. There are red feathers under the sheaths that cover its sharp wings, and each feather can be moved independently. Its wings are actually hollow, allowing it to travel up to 185 miles per hour, 300 kilometers per hour. Its feet have 3 toes on them, 2 in front and 1 in back, and its tail has hooked ends. Its steel wings become tattered and bashed in from repeated battles, but once a year, the battered wings grow back completely. This process restores the cutting edges of its feathers, which are sharp enough to be used as blades, and sharper than any man-made sword. Its skin and feathers are solid due to being raised in very harsh conditions. Its nests are usually found in thorn bushes, where continual scratching of a young individual's skin will eventually harden it into an iron-like state. However, water can cause Skarmory's hard body to rust easily, so it stays in its nest on rainy days. In ancient regions where these Pokemon are common, warriors would use the sharp feathers that fell from Skarmory as swords. It is a popular Pokemon that is used for heraldic designs, and in Galar, it has violent territorial clashes with Corviknight. In Blueberry Academy, Skarmory is used for the school's flying taxi service. In Gen 5, Steel Wing was its signature move, but other Pokemon could still inherit it via breeding. Game data and PC appearances, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Skarmory resides the top of Mount Steel, where it does not like being disturbed. Skarmory holds a Diglett captive and attacks the player. After being defeated, it flies away and doesn't return. Pokemon Ranger, Skarmory is Alita's partner Pokemon. The player also sees it at the Grassland Challenge. Pokedex entries. In Gen 2 and Gold, its sturdy wings look heavy, but they are actually hollow and light, allowing it to fly freely in the sky. Silver, after nesting in bramble bushes, the wings of its chicks grow hard from scratches by thorns. Crystal, the feathers that it sheds are very sharp. It is said that people once used the feathers as swords. For Stadium 2, if you have Pokemon Red, Silver, Crystal inserted, you get the Gold entry, but if you have Pokemon Blue, Gold, or Yellow inserted, you get the Silver entry. For Gen 3 and Ruby, Skarmory is entirely encased in hard protective armor. This Pokemon flies close to 190 miles per hour. It slashes foes with its wings that possess sword-like cutting edges. Sapphire, Skarmory's steel wings become tattered and bashed in from repeated battles. Once a year, the battered wings grow back completely, restoring the cutting edges to their pristine state. Emerald, a Pokemon that has a body and wings of steel. People in the past used feathers fallen from Skarmory to make swords and knives. Fire Red is the Silver entry. Leaf Green is very similar to Gold's, but slightly different, so I'll read it. Its sturdy wings look heavy, but its bones are hollow and light, allowing it to fly freely in the sky. In Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, despite being clad entirely in iron-hard armor, it flies at speeds over 180 miles per hour. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, their Gold and Silver counterparts. In Gen 5, Black and White is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinums. Black 2 and White 2. Its heavy-looking iron body is actually thin and light, so it can fly at speeds over 180 miles per hour. In Gen 6, X is the Silver entries, and Fire Red's entry. Y is Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black and White's entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, basically Ruby and Sapphires, but Skarmory and Pokemon are now the correct casing. Since I forgot to do it in Rubies, I'll say that 190 is 306 kilometers per hour. In Gen 7, it's Sun. Its feathers, which fall off as it grows, are thin and sharp. In times long past, Warriors use them as swords. Moon, its metal body is sturdy, but it does rust rather easily. So on rainy days, this Pokemon prefers to stay put in its nest. Ultra Sun, the wing feathers it sheds can be processed and made into knives, whose sharpness is recognized by the finest chefs. Ultra Moon, its body is draped in steel armor. It looks heavy, but it can fly at speeds up to 185 miles per hour. That's 298 kilometers per hour. In Gen 8 and Sword, the pointed feathers of these Pokemon are sharper than swords. Skarmory and Corviknight fight viciously over territory. Shield, people fashion swords from Skarmory's shed feathers, so this Pokemon is a popular element in heraldic designs. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Skarmory is clad entirely in iron-hard armor. It flies at speeds over 180 miles per hour. In Gen 9 and Scarlet, its sturdy, heavy-looking iron body is actually thin and light, so it can fly at speeds over 180 miles per hour. Violet, since the feathers that it sheds are thin and sharp, people apparently once used them as swords. Skarmory, the Alola Pokedex. Skarmory, the Blueberry Pokedex. You can see how different and how, really cool that looks. The shininess and all that. Game locations. Okay. Yep. Side game locations. And events. Held items, Coliseum. Sharp Beak 100% of the time. Fire Red and Leaf Green. Sharp Beak 5% of the time. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon. Metal Coat 5% of the time. Sword and Shield, Metal Coat with the Expansion Pass 5% of the time. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Metal Coat 5% of the time. Stats, base stats, HP 65, Attack 80, Defense 140, Special Attack 40, Special Defense 70, Speed 70 for a total of 465. Pokeathlon stats, type effectiveness, damage normally by Fighting, Rock, Ghost, Water, Ice, and Dark. Weak to fire and electric for double, immune to poison and ground. Resistant to normal, flying, bug, steel, grass, psychic, dragon, and fairy, all for half except for bug and grass, which are for a fourth. Notes, if this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of poison-type moves is 1, so it go from 0 to 1. If gravity is in effect, this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball in Gen 4, or a ring target, or it is affected by Smackdown or Ingrain, the effectiveness of ground-type moves is 2. So it would go from 0 to 2. In Gen 5, if this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball, the effectiveness of ground-type moves is 1. So it would go from 0 to 1. Prior to Gen 6, the effectiveness of Dark-type and Ghost-type moves were half. They went from half to 1. Learn set by leveling up 1 Peck and Leer for Sand Attack, 8 Fury Attack, 12 Metal Claw, 16 Agility, 20 Wing Attack, 24 Slash, 28 Steel Wing, 32 Payback, 36 Drill Peck, 40 Metal Sound, 44 Spikes, 48 Iron Defense, and 52 Brave Bird. By TM, 1 Takedown, 4 Agility, 7 Protect, 18 Thief, 25 Facade, 27 Aerial Ace, 31 Metal Claw, 32 Swift, 34 Icy Wind, 36 Rock Tomb, 40 Air Cutter, 47 Endure, 49 Sunny Day, 51 Sandstorm, 65 Air Slash, 70 Sleep Talk, 85 Rest, 86 Rock Slide, 87 Taunt, 88 Swords Dance, 89 Body Press, 90 Spikes, 93 Flash Cannon, 94 Dark Pulse, 97 Fly, 99 Iron Head, 103 Substitute, 104 Iron Defense, 105 X-Scissor, 106 Drill Run, 113 Tailwind, 116 Stealth Rock, 134 Reversal, 152 Giga Impact, 160 Hurricane, 163 Hyper Beam, 164 Brave Bird, 170 Steel Beam, 171 Terra Blast, 172 Roar, 176 Sand Tomb, 197 Dual Wing Beat, 223 Metal Sound, and 224 Curse. By breeding, this group gives you Air Cutter. TM Ghost gives you Curse. The note says, no Pokemon in the Flying Egg group can learn Curse via level up. However, the move is available via TM 224 and can be passed down from Noctowl, Skarmory, Decidueye, Corviknight, Bombardier, or copied via Meerherb. This group gives you Faint. Honchkrow gives you Night Slash. This group gives you Roost. This group gives you Sky Attack. And this group gives you Whirlwind. TCG only moves. Quick Attack on this card. Side game data. You got all this. Pokemon Ranger, the browser entry. Skarmory is capable of freely flying high and low through the skies. In Shadows of Volmia, it whips up gusts with its large wings. It also uses its ironclad body to attack. In Guardian Signs, it attacks with gusts of luminous wind. Got all this. Okay. New Pokemon Snap in the Photodex entry. Skarmory flew with such acrobatic skill over the snowfields. Its steel body is hard and sturdy, but because of its hollow bones, it's actually very lightweight. In Pokemon Go, Skarmory can be obtained by completing 2/5 of the ticketed special research, A Drive to Investigate. Evolution data is just this. Sprites. So, got a lot of it. You don't quite have the red yet. That's one of the big differences. Also, the proportions are a bit weird, but that's just to be expected. Its mouth is black, and this is purple for some reason. It's got the red feather wings.
The tail is like that, I guess. It's a little different. It looks like it kind of has two tails. That's interesting. Yeah. And this is green. Kind of reminds me of Scyther. Yeah. Then we got Gen 3. You got these. So it's got the yellow eyes. These are all properly the right colors and stuff. Shiny is green with this kind of, I don't know, different kind of gray color. I don't know. And the back sprite is really creepy because it's like missing the pupil, or it's like so almost invisible. It's very interesting. In Gen 4, got this kind of gray, I guess, and this kind of, whatever this is, cream color, I guess. Still kind of missing the pupil, or it's not so obvious. It's much more obvious in Platinums. This, you got the full back sprites in Gen 5. Yeah. And the models here, so pretty good. Kind of changes the colors a little bit, but pretty good models. This is sort of darker colors. Yep. I got homes, animations, Skarmory and Pokemon Horizons the series. Okay, got all these. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Pokedex entries. For this first one, I recorded it in the anime section, so we'll let Dexter read it.
Skarmory, the armor bird Pokemon. Because Skarmory nests in briars and is constantly scratched by thorns, its wings become razor sharp.
In Diamond and Pearl, episode 184 in Dawn's Pokedex. Skarmory, the armor bird Pokemon. Skarmory's body is covered with a steel-like armor and can fly at speeds of over 100 miles per hour, or 160 kilometers per hour. In the manga, Skarmory and Pokemon Adventures, coming off the frame here, that's fun. Okay, got this. Pokedex entries in Pokemon Adventures in Chapter 138. Feathers from its wings are thin and hard. They can also be used as blades or knives. Xiong Yi's translation. You got all this in the TCG and the TFG. In other appearances, Super Smash Bros. Brawl and the Pokemon Stadium 2, a Skarmory can be seen flying on the flying terrain. Other guest Pokemon found in the flying terrain include Drifloon and a Hoppip drifting in the distance. Trophy information: an iron armor bird Pokemon with a steel hard body and wings. It flies at speeds up to 186 miles per hour and slices enemies with sharp steel wings that grow dull over time. It grows new wings once a year, which regains their original sharpness. It's said that people used to use fallen wings for swords and knives. It can fly so quickly and freely because it has light, hollow bones. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Skarmory appears as a spirit. Trivia: Skarmory has the highest base defense stat of all flying-type Pokemon. Skarmory's number in the Johto Pokedex and the new Unova Pokedex are the same, 203. A Skarmory is featured in Cyndaquil's Blueberry Pokedex image battling a Cyndaquil. This references the episode Hot Matches, which featured a trainer's Skarmory battling Ash's Cyndaquil. Skarmory's sprites in Gold and Silver featured a second tail above the first. This extra tail is not featured in any artwork and was removed in Crystal. Skarmory was originally introduced as Yoridori in the Pokemon Gold and Silver Space World 97 demo, which is also its Japanese category Armor Bird Pokemon. Origin: Skarmory has much in common with the Andean condor and cranes, birds that are held in high esteem in Japan. It is also similar to many mythological metallic birds such as the Stimphalian birds, the Gagana, and the Alacanto. In addition, its design resembles a wyvern. Its concept could also be a pun on Zuru crane, referencing a paper crane, and Zurugi sword. Its wings also resemble a Japanese paper hand fan. Name origin: Skarmory may be a combination of sky and armory or armor. It may also involve scar. Ermd may be a combination of air and armed, which are Gariago. Yorodori is the combination of Yori, armor, and Tori, bird, with phonetic shift to Dori. The languages, related external links. Let's move on.
Now let's watch Skarmory's first scene in the anime.
Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching episode 152, Hot Matches. In this episode, Ash Ketchum, the main character, and family companions, Brock and Misty, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu, and Misty's Pokemon Togepi, have met Mickey, this trainer here, and she is about to battle Brock, and she has sent, or is about to send out her Skarmory. There it is, Skarmory. Yeah, I would say that is, since we're about to get into the battle scene here, I'd say that's Skarmory's first scene in the anime. Let's move on.
Now let's talk about the TCG. I have one Skarmory card.
It's the 9th Skarmory card design. It was illustrated by Mitsuhiro Rita. I like this image. Originally, I thought it was just a cool Skarmory pose, as the actual card has a darker background. It wasn't until I started this project that I saw that it seems to be protecting its nest, which, while logical, being that it's a metal bird, is a fun detail that makes it feel more like an animal than a steel creature. It has 70 HP. It's 5'7" and 111.3 pounds. It has 2 moves, Air Crash and Steel Wing. Air Crash is not a move in the video games. On this card, it costs 1 metal energy and hits for 20 damage. The player then flips a coin. If it lands on heads, the opponent must also remove 1 energy from their active Pokemon. I've already talked about Steel Wing in the video games, so I'll talk about how it works on this card. It costs 1 of any metal energy and 2 of any energies. It hits for 40 damage. On the opponent's next turn, their attack is reduced by 20 after modification. Skarmory is weak to fire for plus 20 damage. It's resistant to psychic for minus 20 damage. It costs 1 of any energy for Skarmory to retreat. In the bottom right corner, there's the Great Encounters expansion symbol. Its description reads, "Despite being clad entirely in iron-hard armor, it flies at speeds over 180 miles per hour." This is the Pokédex entry in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White, and Y. It's level 31.
I don't have a Houndour card, so the next Pokemon with the card I'll be talking about is Porygon 2. Now let's see why other people love Skarmory.
Hello and welcome to the community post section of the video. The question is, what do you love about Skarmory? And number 1 Drizzile fan has responded. Thank you. They say, iconic cry, super cool design in general, was strong in competitive play for a long time without being overbearing, great shiny. Thank you for your response. Let's move on.
Now let's look at fan art.
Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Skarmory. This first one is Skarmory Sketches by Torta8. So this fun, just sketches of Skarmory here. I guess they had, or have, for a Tumblr. Yep. So we got the Skarmory with its wings out. Then a bunch of these Skarmory, one shocked, one front-facing, one confused, one, I guess, laughing, and one suspicious. Then we got the Skarmory without the wings open. What's outside. Then we got Skarmory by Torta8, so I don't know if those were sketches for this piece of art, but whatever. I mean, it's a very well-done piece of art here. I like the flapping of the wings and stuff. This doesn't contain a Skarmory, so we'll move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight, as I need to wait until I've talked about Ho-Ho before I can catch a Skarmory. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Houndour. As always, this is my proper outfit, and see me tomorrow.